So at the end of the day, you know, you've looked at all of the information, you've seen the survey results come in. What is it that you think these people want at the end of the day?
You know, in some cases, I don't know if they have a very clear idea, because when they say we want a Muslim president and we want Islamic law in Afghanistan, well, they have a Muslim
kind of have that,
president.
don't they?
Exactly, they have Islamic laws, and so it's not entirely clear. But some of the most interesting things were when they started talking off of my list of questions, when they just started speaking without particular prompting, and they spontaneously, a couple of them started talking about alcohol. Because alcohol has started to become available in Afghanistan for the first time in a long time. You can buy it surreptitiously on the streets. They started talking about cinemas and movies, because there's now sort of an underground black market trade in pornography and Bollywood movies and so forth in Afghanistan. And they also talked about licentiousness with women, which for the Taliban, who banned women from working, could just mean women at work. So some of these signs of modernity clearly make them very uneasy. And I often got the impression watching all of these videos that, that these guys are really just reacting against the outside world, reacting against modernity.
Is there one thing in particular when you talk to Afghan women that they say, this is what we want above all else?
You know, that's so amazing, because you think you'd get this treaty about I want the following 6 governmental things. They say to me, I want to be like you. I want to go and visit my sister without asking permission. I want to go to my workplace without someone telling me I have to bar the window. They want basic freedoms, and you know, particularly because of what's gone on in the last decade, they know other people don't live like this, and they want their piece of living too.
I found amazing Afghan craftsmen, woodworkers, ceramicists out of work selling fruit in the market. And I really believe that if you invest in those kind of things, you can be investing in things which Afghans want. They want jobs, they want incomes, they want a renewed pride in their national culture. A lot of these traditional crafts are things which can generate jobs and incomes. The carpet industry is doing very well. We should do the same with woodwork and ceramics. So I'm trying to bring all these things together, set up a cultural center, regenerate the center of the city, produce something which I hope maybe in 50 or 60 years' time, Afghans will still be able to point to and say, this is something the international community did for us. Because there are precious few things of that sort. Afghans are sitting there saying, the international community spent $10 billion in Afghanistan. What is to be seen for it? There's nothing to be seen for it. Bring back the Russians.
Well, that's what they said. The Russians at least built bridges and dams and so on, even if they occupied the whole country.
Absolutely.
This is a ring road around the entire country, so it goes all the way around every province and intersects every ethnic group. Now, why are the Taliban fighting so hard to keep these roads out? Because these are something real, something that goes in to the remote areas to connect people, to get people to a clinic faster, to get them, to get their wife down the hill. If she's pregnant, they don't have to run her down the hill in a wheelbarrow. They can actually get her into a taxi and drive her to the clinic.
I had a women's discussion group working on constitutional issues. There were illiterate women as well as high school principals in this group. They were talking about a bicameral legislature. This was before the Constitution was actually drafted. They wanted a bicameral legislature. They wanted an upper house like a Senate, which would have 4 delegates from each province, 2 men and 2 women. They wanted parity in politics for men and women. They wanted mandatory national service as a way of breaking down the ethnic divides within Afghanistan.
How are they doing on that checklist?
Well, the Constitution, as it worked out, wasn't as good as the one that my women drafted. But believe me, I would have been perfectly proud to live as a citizen under the Constitution they drafted. When I asked people in my cooperative what jobs they would want if we collectively were mayor of Kandahar, it's a joke that we have sometimes in the morning over breakfast. One wanted to be the garbage man to clean up the streets. One wanted to be the guy who goes around in the bazaar and checks the weights and measures, makes sure that a pound of bread actually weighs a pound. These people know what they want. They're very sophisticated, and what they want from their government is really quite similar to what I think most of us want from our government.